Good night or good morning. It's 1:20. The clock on the wall is telling me on Tuesday night on to Wednesday morning. Pretty much the same routine today as yesterday. Headed for Galway. Got there probably 20 minutes earlier. And as I took the left turn from the Tuam Road heading up to the field car park, I looked ahead to see was my buddy with the bucket there, because I had €3 in change. I said I'd be able to hand it, throw it out the window to him, to the bucket. So I could see in the distance there was no trace of him. I said he must be gone round the corner. So I got up to where they direct the traffic for the taxis and the regular car traffic. And I let down the window and I said to a young guy, I says, "Where's the book with the bucket?" He said he's gone. He was a hoax. A Galway entrepreneur lasted a few hours, got a few quid, and got caught and was ran. So I was thinking it didn't add up yesterday. It was a bit fishy, and I didn't make the phone call that I said last night I would, and I thought it was this morning, but I was too rushed. That burial mass was on today of that neighbour, so I had to watch that. So your man got the gate anyway, and he had the Galway races high-vis jacket on him and all. He was well prepared, but it didn't add up when he didn't have the system for the cards. That he just had a hole in the bucket. Met a few today in town or anything. Shout out to Roy Griffin from Lissy Casey. Met him coming with a little homemade wheelbarrow. He had the wedge on. He was waiting for a big pull on what one? Oh dear, my mind is gone. The company sergeant. I'd seen him after then. If he was an octopus, he'd be able to bring a lot of bottles of beer with him. He had a few under each arm. I met his brother Ian as well. Ian works with the tote there. So they know their horses. Brian O'Connell from Limerick. Several that I met as well that I know from the race, and I couldn't think of some of their names today. All from Clare and Limerick, and a couple from Cork as well. When I am giving shout out to Colin B and Jerry McCullough and Graham Card. And there was a book that left, I won't even mention his name, he left a message saying, and he formed a new account, probably doesn't listen in, and said that if he was back on me tips that he'd be gone broke to go small, and what he meant by that. But anyway, thanks all sorts. That gives me a great laugh. I get a great buzz when I see messages like that left, because normally when they leave them, they delete them straight away. Made a few pound. Just a quick look at the results before I go on to tomorrow's. Tony Montana, a good run from Tony Montana. The gap was there, I thought, and I said go through it, and he didn't. And I don't know whether he was intimidated. Take Care went across to his right to close the gap then, and then he rallied and he came on the outside. But each way money and a profit made. Then we got a great run at and when they pulled out one on this, so there was only 7, so it was a quarter of the odds then, 2 places. And Wolf of Bednock drifted out to 14-1. I didn't even do a second to the favourite, or without the favourite. We got a good run for money, and that'll be 7-2, quarter of the odds. Forecast was nearly 30 quid. Didn't do that either. Then the classy horse carrying a £5 penalty didn't matter audience. 14s into 4s. Hosed off into the distance. Kinross, I'm afraid, not the horse of old. 7 now miles up. When you see Earth Power second. We got no run at all with the Fav Noble Dynasty. Drifted all day and there was a bit of late money for it. Then we had the best result we could with Kyprios, great old horse. Drifted out to 8-13 on. That was 2-5 last night, and a bit shorter even. Forecast had 3-1. Didn't do it. Backed fairly solid bet on Sweet William 15-8. 9-4 yesterday without the favourite. It was 11-4 early in the day, but I didn't get that. Sweet William, grand little horse, progressing well. But a horse from this that I won't be backing again, gone disappointment with it, Jungle Jim. We got a couple each way off it, but a couple of wins last year, but I'm forgetting about him after this. With no bet in that race. And then we finished off with 2 places. Strutting traded short in running, but finished third. So no money lost. A slight bit of profit made on Dance and Romance on that race. In Galway, the first race, I don't know what happened. I thought the horse that we picked would go out in front, and it didn't. And he wasn't too busy on it, and it jumped mediocre at times. You'd think they'd be running the same way the second time round, but they didn't. The company sergeant opened up even money and went out to 2-1. Merlin Joint opened up 4s on the boards and went into 2s. The 2 of them were at 2s. But I thought Rachel rode a great race altogether. I wasn't too bothered coming into the dip unless it fell. I was saying he'd always get Merlin Joint on the hill. I heard a couple of, even before the race there, that it wasn't ready the last time, and it was all systems go today, so easiest winner of the day was Bubbling. That drifted out to 2-1 as well after opening evens. And Lady Maiden, that from Paddy Toomey, and he'd done the same as last year, gambled on in the same maiden, but he didn't win it this year. Forecast again was nearly 5 quid, nearly 4-1. And didn't do it. Was talking at the time. Another grand winner here, Lucky Out. That was 4s last night, 7-2. It's grand when someone goes off 7-4 favourite. Someone gave me an old dig this evening saying that I was backing favourites, but they weren't favourites when I was picking them out. That was third favourite actually. And then on the turn for home this evening, when they came around the turn, this song as few picked it up, and I said, Jesus, he has stamina, he won't be caught. But he was caught. He drifted out to 16-1. I was saying the draw was crucial, and actually 3 out of the first 5 were drawn low. The winner was drawn in 1. And Cordor, I think, was drawn in 2, wasn't it? And we were drawn in 6. So it wasn't as crucial as I thought, but he ran a great race. I had a bet with Dennis Dean. He was paying 5 places, and I took 14s, I think. And I said, if he wins, I'll sing a song. And he said, if he wins, you sing the song and I'll pick it. So I might do that again sometime with him, maybe in the stall. He's a good character. Go to Dennis if you're having a bet some of the days and have a crack with him. And Johnny as well, he's from Tuam. He wasn't, no trace of him yesterday, and he had a long face on him as well today after he'd be a solid GA man. Ray, that was 2 for the English today. Got up on the line, good ride by Oisin R. And Clear Quartz, that we backed in the race last year to win for us. Didn't back it this year, thought it was a bit out of form. And the horse that we did back finished 5th, beating a nose and another stride, and it was a neck up in front of the other one. So that I had 3 placed in on each way, lucky 15, and that would have made it into a bigger profit. We go on to Goodwood tomorrow in the first race. Front speed is holding up, the front runners, and I picked Attila the Honey for the Johnsons. It's a 10-to-1 shot. Has ran recently, as recent as the 26th of July. That'll be 5 days ago. But I won in Newbury, front run on the rail that day, won by 3 3/4. It up £6, and then it didn't stay, or it was outstayed by a tactician, and which was only the last 50 yards that it got collared. The favourite is wearing a hood for the first time tomorrow, French Duke, and that might settle him. He ran a bit free in the in Royal Ascot, and Subsequent as well is a closer. So them two. So it's the reason I picked the. If speed wasn't holding up today, I probably would have picked French Duke or Subsequent, but I went for Attila the Honey. They're paying 4 places in each way poke. On to the Fillies of Mare Group 3. Two horses here coming down in class from Group 1s. Jabara, that ran in the Falmouth, wasn't it? Second to Porta Fortuna. That's a come from behind horse as well, and I went with the speed at 7 furlongs of another one that has come down in class. It has ran in 2 Group 1s recently, both of them in France, and a Group 3. But like this race here at a mile in the it's only caught on the line, and with the 7 furlongs tomorrow.
Katmandu to Rose Bloom. Here the blue jacket is Romantic Star. Vespertillo nearest to us in the black and red. Rue here in the green, busting through the centre. Katmandu is still in front. Rue here coming to get her. Rue here has joined Katmandu. Vespertillo and Romantic Star behind those.
It was a winner at 7 furlongs, and the last day this was in the Jean Prat. It was not beaten much. That's the selection in that race, which is the 225. Katmandu. I never was in Katmandu. £3, which is this is the Molecombe, isn't it? The Molecombe. Aesterius is the selection. It was drawn on the wrong side, ran a good race in the Norfolk. Whistle Jacket was 4th, that has come out and won since. It ran in Sandown since then, and it was impressive, I thought. And there's an angle. I had this set up. He's coming out this side, isn't he?
And they're off. They race over 5 furlongs. The listed Dragon Stake. The leading Joe being followed by End of Story up against the far side rail with It Ain't Two, and then on the near side the Actor, and still about 6 lengths back to the Miniature who blew the start. Through halfway, the leader is Kinetic Force, still travelling very powerfully is Aesterius. In chase, It Ain't Two, who tries to close on Aesterius. The lead, however, is still over a length, and it is the Dragon Stakes going to Aesterius. It Ain't Two,
and he was a bit keen at the start, but he's a decent horse. Brings us on to the Sussex Stakes. We were on Henry Longfellow the last day, took a punt on him, and Rosallian. He's an on-runner tomorrow. He beat us by a neck. That had previous run in France. I think that will take a bit of beating tomorrow. They're getting £8. The 2 3-year-olds. A Notable Speech won the 2,000 guineas. They ran a not so good race the last day. We're sticking with Henry Longfellow to recoup the losses from the last day. It'll be tactical. Maljum, I think, needs further. Moore is the boy for tomorrow for setting the fractions right and getting it right and throwing a few pound in the barra. Brings us on to a filly's handicap. With pace holding up, I picked Anoud for Ray Beckett. This won 2 races at 10 furlongs last year. First time back this year over 10 furlongs. Tony Montana, who is a decent horse, he ran well enough for us today, got up to beat him. Then the last day upped them to 12 furlongs, 1.5 miles, didn't stay. Back to more suitable distance, out in front. Catch Me If You Can. We'll see, will they catch me if you can? They're paying 4 places, 6-1 shot. Brings us on to, what's the name of this race? The Condition Stakes. I thought the favourite would be hard beaten on it when it ran first time out. Bailey's Jubilation, who's opposing tomorrow again, beat it by a quarter, but he ran as green as grass. He looked the best horse. He hosed up by 5 lengths then in Beverley. Learning on the job. Anyone that says, right, that's too short, there's 3 favourites there that the treble or cross doubled in a treble or something. I'm only trying to go through what I think will win the race. There's no point. If I think the horse is going to win, I'm going to put him up. I'm not going to say it because he's too short. What did I go with in the next race? 5:20. Yorkshire. What happened there? Getting late, you see. Just I haven't much left this week. I'll make up for it next week. No, I won't do that. 7 furlongs of good firm ground. 1 in Thirsk in a decent enough time, and then good ground. They stepped him up and tripped and didn't stay. And a bit out of his depth the last day. 9-1 shot. They're paying 5 places. I mustn't have set up a video for that, if I have it gone. Oh yeah, that's all there. We're on to Galway. We're on to the first race in Galway. Now, I don't know, many people mentioned yesterday and today in Galway about Don't Stop the Music. It's the 7-year-old owned by Sean Mulrine, trained by Marcel Brazel. When I do hear down through the years a hype horse or an over talked about horse, I just say, Jesus, like, there's too much about it. It opened at 3s this evening. It's into 2s there this evening, into 74 with 365. And many people I met today were on about it. I'm going to take a swig of this. This was won by Willie Mullins. Four out of the last 5 years. He has 3. And he has a horse that won over the track already. My Great Mate. Mullins isn't going that hectic. 3 out of 21, 14%. He beat Arctic Gale in a bumper last year. Has a bit of experience there. He was second at 8 to 11 in June. That's the selection. I'm going with it. What did I pick in this race? 525, which is a handicap hurl. I went with Ross O'Sullivan's horse, Pink, Talk in the Park, by Walk in the Park. Used to be with Mags Mullins, and it has throughout the first run on heavy ground in February, given a break, won a maiden hurdle, handy enough. It ran in 2 handicap hurdles behind Harvard Guy there, listed handicap hurdles on baddish ground. I'm thinking the ground might be better this time for him. 14 to 1 shot. That's the selection each way. 5 places. Mayor's handicap hurdle. What should I do on this? Where do I see? Oh, Enfranchise for the Shark, Danny Mullins. We're back to the other day, rated 97 on the flat. Shark has it out quick again because it's owned by the Mees. Rated 97. So put 40 on top of that. That'll be 137. And it's 123. So Enfranchise is the selection. Shark would love to get a winner for the Mees. 4 to 1 with a lot of bookies there. $6.40 is a maiden. For qualified riders. The 3-year-olds are getting £5. £6, and the fillies in are getting an extra £5. It was won by 3-year-olds, but it's a good while back. Dermot Weld won it with Time to Aspire, and Why You Go On, and Fat Cat in the Hat. And I thought in Killarney the last day that Shoda It's behind the horse in the purplish
CC
colour.
was trying to make gains on them in
come on the
third
left,
length and
this
brought
one
to the
here.
outside. Shoda adrift as One Goody as they pass their point of departure. It's Mother Nature won out from the rail with the advantage from CC. Linton third and then Shoda and One Goody as Mother Nature now moves on from CC, who's fading to close inside the final furlong. A gap then to Alinta, who's in a race for the third with Shoda, but driven out by Declan McDonough is Mother Nature and gets her head in front. Second CC, Shoda third.
I thought that was a grand run. I would change our leads there coming up the stretch. He just took a pull as well as much saying, now I know what you can do. Man of Worth, 3-year-old, I think his favourite. At 8-1. We'll take it on at each way bet there. Shoda. On to the big race of the week. The Galway Plate. Later it's getting, it used to be at 5:30, it's 7:10 now. I don't think I'll go tomorrow because I might go the following day. I'll get things organised for the next couple of days. Aesterius Meadow won it for us last year. We're anti-post at 10s. It won for us as well earlier this year. It was rated 145 last year. It was carrying 10 stone 4 with Danny Gilligan's few pound. But it'll be carrying 11 stone 5 now with Alex Harvey's. We have picked Perceval Legallois. Actually, Aesterius Meadow was 20s this morning. Could have a few pound each way on it, and Perceval Legallois carrying a nice weight of 10 stone 8. So Gavin Crummell doesn't get that many winners in Galway, so hope he gets the two big ones this year. It was a 6-1 shot 2 days ago and early this morning. Any change in the market? 5-1, 9-2 in places now. Don't go any shorter. We have that old horse that let us down before, am I right? But I prefer to have Aesterius Meadow bouncing out in front, because Frontal Assault didn't get in as a front runner. Toad Handicap. Where are we here? Gibbs Island. And you know, I forget why I picked it. Back and Trip, I think that was the reason that it might be staying on. Yeah, that was the reason. Back and Trip, staying on, that it might stay on up the hill. It's a 9 or 10-1 shot, isn't it? Dylan Brown McMonigal for, where is it here? 7-1 now. It's an open enough race. And we come to the last one. Qualified. No, it's just a 2-man handicap. Where did I see? I know what I picked in this. 2 4-year-olds and 2 5-year-olds won it the last few years. What did I pick in this? Oh, if that Rain got in, he's the first reserve. He was behind. He ran on well, I thought, the last day. He's a big price. He was behind Golden Temple, but he finished well. If he got in, he used to be in France. 78 down to 70. There's a good scatter of them in this race here. This is the one that the Golden Temple won. And the second favourite for Brian.
Golden Temple just heads on the inside bold approach.
That's
Too clear of How About No, then the Truant, Grappananino, and Ted Hastings is weakened, then Panamon and Stoke to Far, and Barriers next with Rain inside the final 2 furlongs. And it's Golden Temple who's gone for home with the Truant making ground. That's the grey. How About No, falling away is bold approach, then Grappananino, and then comes Panamon and Stoke to Far. It's Golden Temple strongly pressed by.
Come on.
The Truant, 3 clear of How About No, and Panamon. Golden Temple on the inside is finding everything from the Truant. In 3rd place is How About No, and then Panamon and Ray.
That was Rain that finished fastest of all there. I was saying he might come up the hill if he gets in tomorrow, but if he's a 25-1 shot. So I didn't put up anything yet. I'll just see will he run. Check in tomorrow and we'll see. Just how could it be 10-1? How could it be 10-1 here and 25-1 there? So that's the balls. Bet you that's what they're at. I seen a book in the tote yesterday. I handed in for the play spot and I had the box filled out. €1 per unit. And it was 8 altogether. And then he says to 64. He done the wrong thing. They haven't a clue. Just getting a cramp. And a bad one. I'm sitting in this spot too long. Bash the book, he's over and out before I start roaring.